Shabbat Shalom, Temple Emmanuel. This week, on Saturday night, we commemorate what Jewish tradition teaches as one of the most devastating moments in Jewish history, Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, where we commemorate the destruction of the Second Temple, 586 BCE, along with 70 CE, the destruction of the Temple in Jerusalem. This has been very controversial since the founding of Reform Judaism, because we understand, and many of my Reform colleagues don't look for a return to Temple times, even though we understand the devastation of what Tisha B'Av represents. As we stand here in our yahrzeit room, right behind me, this is Jerusalem stone, the stone of Jerusalem, of Ir HaKodesh, of the holy city, commemorating the sense of connection that we have with Israel, with the Holy Land, with its history, with our history, and our connection with Judaism worldwide. The question that we ask ourselves today in modern Jewish life, particularly in modern Reform Jewish life, is how do we commemorate this destructive holiday, this Tisha B'Av moment? In the life of our people, we look forward. Judaism doesn't live in the past, it continues to live in the future with a sense of hope. This past week, the week before, we've heard a lot of disturbing news out of Israel, particularly from the member of Knesset, David Azoulay, who said, "Reform Jews, I simply cannot call Jews because of the way that they live their lives." A horrible comment to non-Orthodox Jews in this world, but it's also devastating to Orthodox Jews as well. This hits the Jewish community as a whole because it brings us back to Temple times. It brings us back to Sinat Chinam, senseless hatred. And it's interesting that when we look at the prophets, and Reform Judaism is prophetic Judaism, the prophets all understood and they condemned the corruption in the temple, in the administration of the temple, in people who ran the temple. It wasn't always so good. It wasn't always that they were living up and up, living righteously, walking by the ways of God. We today look at that as well. We condemn corruption, we condemn hatred, and we push towards justice in this world in which we live. And I will say that when member of Knesset Azoulay came out with his horrific condemning statements about Reform Judaism, that same day I received a phone call. I received a phone call from my colleague, Rabbi Ephraim Epstein of Sons of Israel, our modern Orthodox, our Orthodox synagogue here in Cherry Hill on the west side. And he said to me, "I stand in solidarity with you. Even though I don't subscribe to Reform Judaism, I stand with you as my brother, as my fellow Jew." It's not all bad, friends. There are people in the Jewish world that condemn extremism, no matter what movement we happen to be in. There are conservative colleagues, there are Reform colleagues, there are Orthodox colleagues that all stand in solidarity against Sinat Chinam, senseless hatred. We must too. We must continue to ask ourselves, Ayeka, the first question in the Torah, where do we stand? Where are we? And Judaism, by essence, is about deed, not creed. It's about what we're doing to make this world a better place. It's what we need to ask ourselves on this Tisha B'Av weekend, on this Tisha B'Av Shabbat. What is it that we're doing to make this world a better place? It's time to ask that question now for each and every one of us. Friday night, we bring in Shabbat, 7 p.m. in our courtyard, weather permitting. Please come and join us as we will be speaking about Tisha B'Av and that sense of hope for all of us. And Saturday morning, Torah study at 9:15, we'll be studying Eicha, the book of Lamentations, which is the traditional book that's read on Tisha B'Av. Come and join us. If you've never looked and studied Lamentations, this is the time. By the waters of Babylon, we wept. We wept. It's our time to look towards the future. In the prophetic voice of justice, justice shall you pursue. Let's come together in making a difference in this world and be prophetic. Bring about that change because we are here in this world. I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. And in some way, please commemorate Tisha B'Av in your own way on what your role that you play in making this world a better place. Shabbat Shalom.